I'll wait for the spoiler talk. Maybe I'll start crying again when we get into the spoiler talk. That'll be the first time I ever cry in an episode. Congrats, everybody.
We made it.
we did it. Vulnerability, or whatever my therapist says.
It was either 217 or 220 episodes, depending when I put this out.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Pointless Discourse with myself, Hoppocalypse, and Itisdpayne.
Hello, me. It's me.
I'm the one that watched the movie right before this.
I'm not making emotional things. I'm just getting tongue-tied over myself. Yes, guys. You know what? We don't normally do this, but hey, forewarning. Today's episode might be a bit of an emotional one, and if you read the title, let's just say, if you know, you know.
Oh, we watched it during AAPI month, but it won't be releasing during AAPI month, I just realized.
When does it come out? It'll come out the week after it finishes.
Yeah.
You know what? Dream Scenario hasn't come out. If we really wanted to, we could just swap them.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but this would have been a wild one. This would have been wild for Mother's Day.
Is that what's coming out? Wait,
no, Mother's Day.
Oh, Mother's Day's the 11th.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Green Room.
That technically hasn't come out yet.
I can't stop you. Our facts will be out of order.
It will make sense when they listen to this, which will become before Green Room.
I can't tell you what to do.
We can roll on it.
Which dice?
What is the most emotional die? A D4, because they hurt when you step on them.
Yes. Let's do the D4.
Okay. Odds, we switch it. Evens, we keep it.
Alright, I'm rolling it now.
Alright.
I rolled a 2.
I already forgot what I said. Evens, we
it.
switch it. Is that... If only we had a recorded way to find out what the heck I just said.
Alright, start over again.
Okay, hold on. I'm writing odds. Okay, I'm just saying one. Odds, switch.
Odds switch.
Odds, switch.
It was a 1 this time.
Okay, I have a feeling it was the same thing. Okay. Hey, guys, welcome to this Fact 20, which you'll hear later. Now.
Look, this is just like the movie that we watched.
19.
Because this is all out of order, but all happening all at the same time. And it's multiverse threaded.
It'll be really fun putting this episode in twice and never putting it in the green room.
See who catches it.
See, yeah, but we're saying it right now. So
or if we it would also be
sure.
It would be hilarious if we recorded a second version of this. Not that we really have it in our schedule, but to have a second version of this, people are like, wait, didn't this one already come out?
I'm checking. Okay, the last uploaded one was Pearl. I know I have Talk to Me ready.
Yes.
So, wait, I believe Talk to Me is ready. I gotta find out. Because I will... Let's see... Oh, yeah. Okay, so I have Up to Green Room already rendered, so I just have to switch them. You know what? I don't even want to switch the numbers. I want to put it in there as 220 and 217. So that way it's just like, is this out of order? We'll see.
I'll let your brain cook. I believe in the process.
See, this is what happens when you don't watch the movies and you try to make a schedule. But I don't know what the next week's movie, but it feels like Green Room might fit better with that one. Who knows?
I think the next one is a horror.
Yeah. So anyway, we have a fact. It's fact 22. You know what's real fun? This fact, like, it literally doesn't matter, like, when it comes in. Because it's like, fact 22. A24 distributes and produces approximately 18 to 20 films a year.
I feel like it's more than that now.
Yeah. It's crazy that looking at that, because now we only have 2 more facts, but, like, on the rest of the list. But I know that, well, hold on, now I gotta look at the schedule again. Ex Machina, we still have that. We have, at the time of this recording, we have 3 episodes left.
We started this in January. No, we started this in December?
Yes, we did start it in December.
No, wait, technically, November. We recorded one episode at the end of November.
Yep. Because we knew. And then we didn't realize how early we would actually be with everything. I think it was the benefits of finishing the Christmas series so early. We're like, okay, what do we do now? And then there's just like, who has a hectic schedule that we can try to get in now?
We're doing it. We did it. We're heading there.
So looking at it, hey, Maddie, Kathy, K to the J. Thank you for putting up with our silly schedule, even though K to the J like recorded like a week or two before Hereditary came out. But that's not what we're here to talk about.
We watched a different movie about mothers with generational trauma.
Oh man, if I knew that, I would have put it after Hereditary. But anyway. Man, it would have been... Man, what was I thinking?
This was like... Watching this, I was like, is this what Minari could have been if it was magical realism?
And they had everything bagels? It was... Okay. No, I gotta save this for when we actually record. Because I'm like... When we give our spoil talk.
Anyway, if anyone hasn't guessed yet, we watched Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Or if you're like me, as I've been telling people, Anything Anywhere All at Once. Which is not the right title.
I feel like if you Googled that, though, it would still come up.
It does.
I think it's close enough, yeah.
Because that's what I typed in to find out what the heck I was talking to my friends. Oh, that's a neat poster.
Yeah, I will forewarn anybody, if you're watching this as video and you're like, Hop looks different today. Yeah, I literally finished the movie and I had like an emotional roller coaster every week this past week in which like, when I like to joke with it about people, I'm like, my family likes to test me. And then watching this movie, I was just like, I was just sobbing. And then... I'll wait for the spoiler talk. Maybe I'll start crying again when we get into the spoiler talk. That'll be the first time I ever cry in an episode. Congrats, everybody.
We made it.
we did it. Vulnerability or whatever my therapist says.
It was either 217 or 220 episodes, depending when I put this out.
We've recorded at least 219.
Yes. Yeah. I would say, hey, if I look different, but I look the same. I was told this week that I look like the same picture as I do from like 5 years ago. So, yeah, cool.
My hair changes.
My hair got grayer.
Yeah, I went to, like I said, I don't know if I mentioned it in the podcast, but I went to that one book club, and the book that I went for, funnily enough. So when I turned 30, I went to a local bookstore and I was like, pick out any 3 books for me. And I showed them like what I had recently read through Storygraph. And they went through it. They went, okay, I have books for you. One of the books the person recommended me was where I went for the book club last night. And the person was like, yeah, this person's my favorite author. They're really awesome. All this other stuff. And I was like, do you remember a year ago? I told you to recommend me any 3 books. They're like, oh my god, that was you? I was like, yeah, I know my hair changes a lot.
Yeah. I don't leave the house enough to get recognized.
I now, like, I go shopping there kind of religiously, and then I also, go to their book clubs and host a book club with them. Yeah. It's just...
I will say, the H Mart does recognize me because I don't have to sign when I swipe my credit card anymore.
It's just like, you're not a scammer. We know you're using your own money.
Yeah, they're like, you're also very recognizable from the majority of the people that go into H Mart. You're also not one of the, like, people that don't come in and just start causing a fuss, because that was in there and I'm just like, dude, just get your stinking vegetables and get out.
I was at one H Mart near me and there were these 2 people, again, not to hate on people that exclusively wear anime merch.
No, but you can.
I feel like I have a right to hate on these people wearing anime merch because they were standing in the ramen aisle and comparing it against what they had seen in manga. And I was like, just pick something They're not that different.
Yes, it says one is lobster flavored. It's just flavored powder, okay?
Yeah. Like, some of them are going to have different noodle types. Mm-hmm. Sure. And things like that. But those are pretty clear to see on the package. It's not going to be...
To be fair, though, try the hard noodle, like not like fresh noodles, not freeze dried, but it's like the hard like egg noodles or whatever, all that, the one that you're gonna get in the package, and most of the time that you see at a grocery store, it's not gonna really change anything. You're just
what I'm talking about is I've seen I like ones. They're a little bit more pricey. I don't buy them as much anymore because it's not a meal unless you add stuff, and I don't always add stuff. I just eat noodles. There's some that come in like a vacuum package, so it's like yakisoba or udon. Those are really nice because they feel like a fresh noodle because they weren't like... For audio listeners, Dpayne has walked away from the microphone.
Like this?
Yeah, those.
These are good. This is not what I was talking about. I was talking about like the...
Yeah, but the like, H Mart...
Yeah, ramen. Sorry, I'll put this away while you finish.
Yeah, the H Mart I go to will have certain containers with those type of noodles next to like the variety of the harder noodles. So that's what I mean. Like, that's the best variety you're gonna get if you get that kind of noodle or like the dried egg noodle.
They do have fresh cut noodles that they're in the same kind of package, but they got like those are good. They're so good. Yeah, I was comparing because someone was talking to me about going to H Mart, and I'm like, "Have you been there before?" And it was someone at work. He's like, "No," and I'm like, "Okay, this is nothing against you or the store." I'm like, if you're gonna go, and you're not 100% sure what you want to get, make sure you have some time, okay? Like at least like maybe 30 minutes to make sure you can find, even though our H Mart isn't huge, but it's like you're still gonna you're gonna look there. He was like looking at, because he was asking about the spam thing I'm doing, and I'm like if you want spam, I can tell you exactly where it is, okay? It's the third aisle in the back on the end, okay? If that's what you're going for. But it's just like, if you want more, I'm like, it's not in English, and so you're going to have to turn all the bottles around where they have the English translation, or in my H Mart, feels weird saying my H Mart, the H Mart that I go to, it's like, they'll have the translations where the price is, but sometimes the translation's longer than the sticker, so you're just like, I don't know. I've been going there since COVID, and I just learned where everything is. Yeah. To where now people, like, I can tell when people are lost, I'm like, are you looking for soy sauce? Just, it's a little bit farther down. Or if you're looking for certain, it's like, because I don't know. I think I could tell some of them, like, should we ask somebody? And they get intimidated or whatever. And I'm just like, you're looking for dark soy sauce, it's at the end, okay? And it's right there. So,
look at you, the guide.
When are they going to hire me?
But in any case,
we're going to roll some dice again.
Yeah. This time rolling dice to see what order we talk about the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once. I try to think of a good segue, but yeah. So, which dice do we want to go with for who gets to talk first about the summary, and then 30 minutes of spoiler talk.
All the spoilers. I was trying to think what would be like the most cosmic die, and the only one is the D100, because
infinite possibilities.
Yeah, well, at least a possibility between 1 and 100.
More possibilities.
Now, do we want to do Call of Cthulhu, Delta Green rules, where lowest talks?
You know what? Let's change it up. Let's go for the most middle number.
Closest to 50. Closest to 50. All right.
Alternate
like
universe, baby. Oh, okay.
No, you might. I don't know. There's at least 100 options.
I got 63.
You beat me because I got a 78.
Oh, okay. So, like, if I had gotten really low or a lot higher than you. Okay. So, anything else you want to mention to the viewers before we start diving in?
Hey, viewers, listeners, you're beautiful. Okay, that was it. I gotta boost up the thing. But guess what? We're gonna spoil stuff. So if you don't want to watch this movie, what?
If
you don't want to know
you
about this
should
movie,
watch this movie, and
Yeah.
if you don't want to be spoiled before you watch it, pause here, come back after.
Yeah, and I will wonder why you hit play. Like I'm thankful, but it does make me wonder. Like I want to check out this, and then, well, I guess if it's your first time listening to it and you didn't know,
You never know.
Yeah. So, well, take it away, Hop.
Okay, so my short summary of this book is we are kind of following the story of Evelyn as she comes to realize that her being so stressed out about life and taking it out upon others doesn't necessarily mean that she can unlock a hidden potential that she has. And then coming to terms with her own feelings and the feelings of those people that she wants to keep close to her.
Mm-hmm. Works for me, and I'm hitting... Oh, my phone just shut off. There it is.
Phone.
It's back. And I hit start. And you know what? Let's start off with an emotional note. If I had that many receipts, I would cry too. Or I would cry.
Yeah.
Also, that is a very stressful morning.
That was a lot. Like, when she was like, I can't help you, I'm busy. She wasn't lying.
Yes.
She had a lot going on. Yeah, this movie, the joke that I saw were that there were daughters that were first generation Asian Americans that brought their mothers to the movie, right? And then their mothers were like, I don't get it. The daughter was annoying and the mom was like rude. And I was just like, yeah, that's how it goes. And then when Strider finished the movie with me, he's like, wouldn't it be nice if things happened like they did in the movies? And I was like, I'll say the specific.
You get to make an everything bagel?
We'll get, when we start talking towards the ending, I'll say what he specifically like was hinting at. But that was like, I was already sad from the movie, and like I had several moments where I cried. Granted, again, I know you specifically can't relate to this, but I born with someone that has female hormones, I'm currently at the stage where everything is really emotional for me right now. That's my so everything lining up to watching this movie, I was like, this is a lot. But
it's like, I should have watched this last week.
But in any case, I have to say that when I realized the movie was making me laugh and making me really like the characters, I was like, oh, I am gonna be annihilated. Because like the first hour, I was just like, I don't want this part of the journey to end, because as soon as it flips, it's gonna be bad.
Mm-hmm. It was like what did I write? The first like half of this movie is The Matrix and the movie The One combined.
Oh, my joke. I didn't watch The One, but my jokes for when I first watched The Matrix, which was during the pandemic. When I first watched The Matrix, I was like, Neo is the anagram for The One. And then everyone in my Discord laughed at me. And the bigger joke was I was waiting for Neo to kiss the lady, and then they didn't kiss. And I was like, fine, they're never going to kiss. And then they finally kissed. But
in the second one, I think he like pulls a bullet out of her gut or something. I can't remember.
Romantic.
Yeah. It was like, either become a god or save woman that you can reset. And he's just like, woman. I know it's more than that, but it's also been a while since I watched the second one. But yeah, like it was just The Matrix, just due to like everyone around them, not like becoming Agent Smith, but like
feeling juiced up. Yeah,
getting all like different. And then it's just like the one of how Evelyn like is constantly like connecting to other personalities, and like for people who don't know the concept of The One, which is it, I think it was a decent movie, but I also haven't watched it in a while, so please don't quote me. Was everybody, there's multiple universes next to each other, and one person, Jet Li from one universe, was killing all the other Jet Lis and all the other universe, whatever his character's name is.
Oh, so I have heard of this movie. I just never
Yes.
got a chance to watch it because it was on my list to watch martial arts movies, and that is not to repeat the name of the movie, but that is the one that everyone talks about watching.
It's good. There's every once in a while I'm like, it would be fun to do a Pointless Discourse kung fu movie because then I would finally have an excuse to watch The Raid 2, which I hear is like the best, one of the best kung fu movies, action sequences out there. But we're getting distracted. There is kung fu in this movie, but
Plenty of it.
yes, it cracks me up because it's like I don't pay attention a lot to like actors and stuff, and I'll fully admit that I didn't know who Michelle Yeoh was. Yeah, I don't know how to say her last name, but before this movie. But it did crack me up because like I forget what it was where it was like people were asking like their parents like no one knew who Michelle Yeoh was before this movie came out, and they're like, what are you talking about? And then it like cut to like all the movies she was in like beforehand, and just and Jackie Chan's like pretty much essentially is like, it's a sin that nobody realized how good she was. And like he's like, I'm glad people know now, but it's a sin that nobody knew until this movie came out at this point. And I'm just like, I agree. She good. There was the other question.
I
so,
did
like,
make the. I was gonna say I did make the joke. I was like, her career to me, like, or I forget what. Oh, during the first fight scene, Strider was like, "Oh, this feels like a Jackie Chan movie where the fighting choreography is really good, but it's also like really funny because it uses a lot of the nearby objects. It's like clean, but it's like it feels like hyper realistic because of like the fanny pack and everything like that.
Yes.
And then and then when she finally had her first career, I was like, oh, this feels like a Jackie Chan kind of career where she's like
Go ahead, sorry.
It almost felt like in one of the scenes she was in Rush Hour. When they were flashing through her like starlit days.
Yeah, well, like she
I see
like,
she's in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which I've personally never watched.
Me neither. I've seen clips, but I know she was like, she did a cut like, because I remember after this movie came out, like people were just putting together compilations of her old movies, and she's in movies with Jackie Chan, and like they did like pretty much like Jackie Chan just got noticed, in
the Western,
and then her stuff like you have to like definitely go down farther, but like I don't know if she was in Police Academy and all that stuff, but like she was, I don't know, IMDb isn't, I don't even know if I'm the right thing, but anyway, yeah, like she was in like a bunch of different things with Jackie Chan, and was doing stuff like also stuff like she was in a lot of Chinese like martial arts films. So yeah, so like this, you look at her IMDb, like there's stuff that goes back to 87 when she came over here. Like there was a part in the movie, so we said to spoil this, there's like she's able to connect to other versions of herself depending on the decisions she made, and there's one where she learns kung fu, but in doing that never meets Waymond, her husband, in the universe that we're in, or the timeline that we're in, and they meet, but she doesn't go with him to America.
She chooses to stay with her family, but then she gets robbed at knife point, and and then it's
learns kung fu, and then uses that to become a movie star. But like, there's a whole sequence there. I'm like, did they just take like a whole bunch of clips of her at award shows? And
because I saw the background. One of them was like the backdrop was Crazy Rich Asians, which I know was a very big film as well, based off a book, I believe.
Yes.
But so I was like, oh, that's her. Like her, not just
like that's I was like, wait a second, that the quality is jumping a little bit in all these scenes. I also like how they go through that, like, where it's like the same thing but like a different timeline where it's just like the power's all in the pinky and like her pinkies are getting biceps. And it's just...
Yeah, because at first it's like kung fu. Even this cookie could be kung fu, and
Yeah.
and then it's even your pinky could be kung fu.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think my favorite aspect of it is like the branching universes make sense based on the ridiculous act she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one with she said Starter and I realized she says I love you to the auditor Deidre.
Yes.
And then she has the alternate universe with hot dog fingers where the two of them are a couple.
Yeah.
And Starter was like, oh, the only universe where the two of them would ever fall in love is when there was an evolutionary difference enough to make hot dog fingers.
I like when it goes back to the beginning of the time and it shows like the human Neanderthal and then it's got hot dog finger man. He's just like, ah! Just screaming.
I know, they were like doing the math, 1,000,000 BC.
Yeah. Oh man, and then it was
the details were all really like good.
Yeah, and even like speaking about the details, like when she does that and she's like trying to like communicate with Deirdre, and she's just like her hands like are normal hands, but like she's still going between hot dog world and this world, and she's just like, yeah, and it's like just moving her hands like hot dog fingers and just nowhere close to them, and it's just everyone's like, what is wrong with you?
Why are we talking like this?
Yeah, but then it's one of those things, like, comes back around. But, yeah, it was, I will also say, Evelyn/Michelle, they both deserve all the awards. It gets my vote for awards for punching an IRS agent, even if it wasn't, like, real.
I know.
You told me to be prepared.
She does look
Now?
grumpy. I felt it broke my heart when she was like, I need to tell my husband how my life was so much better without him. And I immediately was like, oh no, don't say it. Don't ever let him hear it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's, oh man. There's like the whole, like, because the first hour of this movie is, or maybe how long is this? Was it an hour and a half?
It's like 2 hours, 20 minutes.
19 minutes according to IMDb. But that's probably including credits, so probably like an hour, 2 hours and 10 minutes around there. But it's like the first hour, like, it's just so much like insanity, but it sets so much up where it's just like with the Alphaverse, and it's just like, we're here to like fix everything, and just how serious and everything they are, and then it's like other people from the Alphaverse are coming, and then it's just I didn't know anything about this movie, but when they were like I don't remember the name of the Jobu Tupaki, the Jobu Tupaki.
Yeah. Juju Chupaga?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just
Tabuti?
Yeah, I'm just.
And then the very end, oh, you finally said her name right.
Yeah.
But in a way is also reflective of her finally accepting her daughter's like views and things. Mm-hmm. Like, it also broke my heart when she was like, you're the reason my daughter is not who I expected her to be. And then the evil incarnate version of her daughter is like, you're still on about this? You need to, like, there's other issues at hand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, like, it's such an interesting, like, because, like, the first half of the movie, it makes it sound like this evil version of her daughter, or, like, the version of her daughter that sees everything and experiences everything just wants to destroy the world. But the fact is, like, even up to then, like, she's like, no, like, she wants the version of Evelyn that will do the same thing. So she's like, I don't want to be alone. Like, she's still looking for that acceptance, whether it's like not even to herself very clear that's what she's looking for.
And I don't even know, like, acceptance, I don't know is the right word, at least for
or
the
just
way
understanding, maybe.
Human connection.
Yeah.
Because, like, she feels so disconnected from her mom, because anytime, like, in the regular timeline, anytime the daughter talks to her mom, it's just like, it feels like they talk past each other constantly.
Mm-hmm. And then they do have the moment of connection, like when I think it's near the end of the first part, or no, it's the second part, because like she finally, like, everything's going bad, like her dad is actually like trying to kill her daughter and like kill her and and her husband, and her husband's like constantly flip-flopping, and she's like, her brain's in like 8 different like versions of herself, and she's like finally like just stop, like searches everything and goes back to a time, like, because I don't know, it's a really neat sequence where she's like, oh my goodness, she's getting it, because like she's jumping through the different time periods, or not her different timelines, where like she's able to like pull out their different skills to do martial arts, like as you said, is like the goofy kind of whole section, and it's just like this big action sequence of them like fighting, and just kind of going through, like the thing I was not expecting was to be trying to stop a man from shoving a trophy shaped like a butt plug up his butt.
Yeah, and then for the other guy to find something else even bigger.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh my goodness, like it was just,
yeah, it was right before that, like, if that scene, I was like, is this what it feels like in like Street Fighter when you have the people on the side cheering on in the middle of the fight? Because they even like put the camera where it felt 2D in like certain parts of that fight. Mm-hmm. And Starter was like, this would be interesting as a game, minus all like the weird butts stuff, but like.
Yeah, could you imagine like that part? It's like, okay, to access this ability, you need to go find this object and stick. What the?
Do the most ridiculous thing you can think of.
Yeah.
Well, it's right there. I saw the awards. But I did like the joke. You don't get this award without dealing with a bunch of bullshit. It's like, yeah.
I remember looking. I was like, is that award what I think? And then it's like later it's like, if you didn't think it, yes it was.
In case you missed it, this is the joke. This is the bit.
We're gonna beat you over the head with it. But there was also another thing when it's just Evelyn and Wayman, the Alphaverse Wayman, are just leaving, and I'm like, did they just leave her dad just somewhere in the IRS office? And then it's just like they're under the table, and she's just like, wait, my dad, where is he? He's like, oh, he's taking care of it. Just shows him in the break room eating pudding.
Rice pudding, yeah. It is funny. Like, there were moments where I was like, wait, what's happening? And then they clip to it, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I did like the part when she first meets the Jobu version of her daughter, where they're, like, getting arrested. And the lady's like, why did you staple stuff to my forehead? And she's like, I didn't. You did.
Yes. I will say it's not like the most crazy scene, but it's like when they find Evelyn in the like pocket universe or like an alternate universe where her and Wayman can talk, and they kill her, and she's like, this is the wrong Evelyn. It's just like, hold up. And then like she clicks her head, and it goes through like 8 different versions of her just clicking her head, and then she's in the bar. And I'm like, when they were talking about it, I was like, I don't think there's gonna be hidden. This has to be your daughter, like just the way everything's being set up. And then it's just like proving it there. So, but yeah, all that going on. But yeah, like the choreography and all this stuff, like even like the first, there's just the fight scenes are really good, but then it's just like when you first meet the Joy, the Evelyn's daughter, like in her fully, like, I don't know, I can't think of another term of like awakened form, and just
her final form.
Yeah, and like when cops and like everything's trying to like stop her, and she's just like, no, and just like is switching timelines, like her costume changed to like people changing to reality changing, like all around, while Evelyn's just like pretty much mind is breaking while looking at it all. It's just like, it just shows like how outclassed she is, and like she's like, you know what, you'll figure it out. And then it's just and then when she starts, like, you find out the whole thing, it's just like, no, like her daughter, like fully aware of everything, wasn't trying to kill Evelyn just to kill her. It was like to bring her where she was. And
Yeah, the part with the couch was very fun, where she's like,
yeah,
sit on the crack of the couch. She's like, what are we? And then they get
it's just
going
like,
through.
yeah, and then and then when she's like showing her the everything bagel, and it's but like then it had like all the different scenes of them together, when it's like when them just sitting there as two rocks, and she's like, yeah, this is a universe without any life. It's just us.
Pretty relaxing, huh?
Yeah, but it's like all subtitles.
Yeah, I think I said to Strider, I was like, I could go for this one sometimes.
Yeah, it's like this is what a Ghost Story could have been. But yeah, so yeah. As I
speaking of,
okay.
I was gonna say, speaking of her alternating between all those like versions of herself, I think really made the ending where she's surprised by her own mom still fighting for her, and then being like basically like 10 universes at the same time, because her makeup is all over the place, her hair is all over the place, her costumes are all sewn together. I was like, this costume department did a good job.
Oh yeah. Did they win awards? Hold on, the wiki. Let's see. They better have. Like, I know, of course.
We know about the actresses and the actors, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not showing me. Normally, Wiki says, like, Wikipedia says what they're all.
Although award nominations are.
Yeah, and like if they got it or not, but I didn't see it on here. I don't know if IMDb has it. Anyway, but yeah, and gets like once it gets to like the second half of the movie, I'm just like, oh, here come the feels. and but yeah, it's still like hilarious, because it's like the writers of this, because I think if I remember correctly, Ke Hu Huan, who was Wayman, I don't know if I pronounced his name right, he was one of the writers, I think, or he was part of it, but it doesn't say it here. I thought I saw in the
credits.
Yeah, I thought I saw in the credits that he wrote. I might have messed up. Daniel Kwan wrote it. I don't know. I'm not gonna die on this hill. Oh wait, did he do? He did Swiss Army Man.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I know his big thing is he was like in the Goonies and Indiana Jones, and then essentially took a break from acting, like a really long break, right?
Yeah, he was Short Stack, I think that's
Short
what it's
Round.
Short Round. Yeah, I'm like, I don't remember the name because I haven't watched Indiana Jones in a while. It looks like he still did some stuff. Yeah, 1997, and then he did another movie in 2002, and then 2021 it looks like he came back.
Yeah, and then Strider recognized the dad in the movie as the guy from Big Trouble Little China.
Oh, Gong Gong, or
yeah.
That's a
He's
movie
David
I never
Lopan.
watched. Yeah.
That's a fun movie.
I heard good things. I just haven't got around to watching it. So yeah, there's. All right. Well, I think the only other two things I see here that was just bonkers to talk about fighting wise was I was not expecting a Pomeranian to be used as a weapon. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know that a pizza sign flipper had so much combat ability.
I said, so have you played the video game Rogue Legacy?
Yes.
Where,
it sounds familiar,
I believe it's called Rogue Legacy, but basically it's a roguelike where you can, level up people, and they have, certain traits, and then when you, have a kid with someone else, there's a chance that the traits get enhanced or get brought down. I was like, so is this what happens in Rogue Legacy if you have a sign flipper and a martial artist have a kid?
Fun fact, Rogue Legacy was the first YouTube video I ever put up about 7 years ago. Fun. I didn't win. Oh, man. But yeah. But pretty much, it was right there. Pretty much, as soon as Act 2 started, my notes stopped.
You were just in it.
I'm like, I'm I am into this. Like, the last note like, there's like 4 notes I wrote, and the first one is like, this is interesting. I wrote, it's funny that as Act 2 begins, or maybe it was the end of Act 1. I think it was the Act 2. The movie ends, but then it goes to when she's in her actor form, like in her actor timeline.
She's watching the end as
the
actress for the movie, and then the that version of Waymond was like, that's a sad ending. That was weird.
Yeah. and then it's like, this is when she like kind of goes on that like journey through her cells, because like in the beginning, like, it's like, what's the whole point? But then it's like, there's key versions of herself that we meet, like the hibachi version of herself, the actor. There's another like kind of almost carbon copy of the same universe that she's in.
There's the opera singer,
the
hot dog fingers,
and then I thought there was like
the rocks,
yeah.
There's 2 martial arts.
Yeah. Well, the martial arts and the actor are the same one. But anyway, there's like there's a whole bunch, and they still go in there, but there isn't like a whole bunch of the pizza flipper and all that stuff. And even the hibachi chef one is like, it feels like that's like the little bit of the comedy to
your little relief.
Yeah, to like the release valve.
Yeah. I have nothing. I didn't know how to boil an egg.
Yeah, just shows her acting like, ah! Just like scream. Oh man, that'd be a
get on
sequel.
my shoulders and pull my hair.
Yeah, and switch.
But in any case, yeah, basically with all the versions of herself, in that second act, she's looking. She's like, Alpha Waymond explained it as like, you start to create cracks in a vase, and like parts of you start to leak through, and you need to learn how to like reseal those, or you won't be able to manage having all of that information in your head at the same time. So yeah, so she ends up living through these different experiences and is like, oh, this is the perfect life. And then she runs into Waymond, and Waymond's like, you know, says the line like, I would have gladly have like just done laundry and done taxes with you. And she's like, but we would have been poor and miserable. And he's like, and I would choose you every time. So then she contends with the fact that she was given like her divorce summons, and the normal universe is like, I wanted a conversation. I didn't want you to just sign the paperwork. So when she just signs the paperwork, I was like, no.
Yeah. Like, it's the whole time as Joju, how would you say her name?
Jobu is the first.
Okay, yeah, I saw it and I was like, my brain's, it's been a while since I did, but yeah, Jobu like is just staying in the background, just like, yep, see, this is what you have with like infinite wisdom and insight to everything. And I'll admit, okay, so I'll definitely say that whole interaction like of Waymond, wait a second, yeah, because that whole scene, they're like kind of crossing through there, and it's just like CEO Waymond to movie star version of Evelyn. It's just like, he's pretty much, you think I'm pretty weak, don't you? And she's like, and like at this point, she has like 8 versions of Waymond in her head, and she's like, no. And it's just like, as you said, like that whole interaction, and that's like, I just remember seeing like when this movie came out, so many TikToks and videos of just like, I would have really just liked doing laundry and taxes with you, and everyone's just like sobby emojis and all that stuff. And then it got there, and I'm like, I get it.
Yep. Yeah, because like he admits that like his form of strength is through vulnerability and through kindness, which she has trouble expressing because, you know, like we said, generational trauma and all that. And then so then the other version of her, so that's like the actress where she thought she got everything she wanted in life, and it still feels empty because she realizes she's looking for her daughter, and he's like, we don't have one. And then I'm getting sad, it's happening. Then what the rocks was her realizing like, you could just sit there and let everything pass you by, but like it's, there still should be a connection, because I like the part where she's like, you shouldn't even be moving, you're a freaking rock.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm gonna get you.
It's like, I'm gonna come over. It's like, I wrote rock bonding, but like I remember watching this, I'm like, I wasn't expecting to be so emotionally tied to stupid rocks.
Yeah, and in a way it feels like, because she talks later about how they're both extremely stubborn, and that they both have that in common, but when you both have it in common, you don't move. You're stagnant in your ways. And then there's where's her other big revelation universe? I forget now. They're all getting jumbled together because they all happened all at once.
Exactly. And so, because she signs the divorce papers, and that's when she starts like, I always hated the place. She breaks.
Oh yeah, she takes the bat to things. Yeah.
Yeah, and
the googly eyes.
Yeah, and that's when like Wayman and that was like, oh, let's go at 6:00 and get all the information, and that's when.
She keeps assuming he's making things worse.
Yeah.
When he actually ends up helping.
Mm-hmm. And then let's see, there's that, the rocks, movie star. I know there's another one somewhere.
Oh, then there's the hibachi
when they're
one.
like the hibachi, but I think the other like not emotional, but like the thing is where she's in front of the bagel, and it's like
she's witnessing like everything that
she's seeing everything, and it's just like she's like no, and then it's like Joe Bush is like, no, you're looking.
Like in the beginning, she has the moment where she can't listen to Alpha.
That's my phone. Guess who didn't put their phone on mute? I'm glad no one texted me.
Like in the beginning of Alpha Wayman, and she can't listen to him because her brain is so scattered because she keeps assuming she has to take care of everything. And then she's at the bagel, and she uses the same excuse where she's like, I have to go. I can't go to the bagel. I think my husband's going to mess something up. But it sounds completely... It's the same line, but it's said in completely different, like, attitudes.
Yeah.
And then, and then her having to relive the moment over and over again of, like, how her father talked to her, I think was also a really big defining moment for her to be, like... Because she had the, what was the one statement? Oh, yeah, she said to Alpha version of her dad, like, how could you just let me go? Because he keeps saying, like, just let your daughter go. He's like, could you let me go so easily? Huh? That wasn't cool. She's like, I don't want to be just like you. I don't want to hurt my daughter the same ways you hurt me. If only I heard that. So her having to literally fight her own demons, but presented to her as different versions of that same person. Like, she's looking at their face, but that version of them she's talking to is like, you don't understand, this version of your daughter that exists, that knows everything all at once, literally decimated my entire planet, and we're gonna, like, fix everything. She's like, yeah, but she's just a girl. Like, she's just a kid.
She's like, she's my girl. And then
the whole bit where he's like, knife her, and she's like, no. And he's like, how are you going to save the entire universe if you can't kill one of them? And she's like, this is messed up. That's your granddaughter.
And then, because then I'm trying to remember what happens, because I think, how does Act 3 start? Does Act 3 start
Act 3 is like 5 minutes. Like, it's a very short
Oh, that's
part
like
of the movie.
that's like the conclusion. But yeah, there's...
The hug, essentially.
Yeah, but like the whole, like, even the whole scene, like, while she's like getting her stuff to, like, realizing it, and then
the hot dog fingers one where she realizes, like, what was it, how cold she can be, because Deidre in that version is like, you're hot and cold, I'm sorry if I hurt you, and then she's like, oh, no, it's me. I was the one that was guarded. It's not fair to you for me to act like this. So then she can apply that to people. But it is, now, I had a point I wanted to make. It was interesting to see, like, in the beginning, she set up, like, Evelyn's set up to be super cold, right? Because she's so busy. She doesn't have time for feelings. And she doesn't have time to do other things. And then, like, the moment where she looked really distraught when her husband was like, oh, she keeps confusing her hobbies for her jobs. Because, like, the bit later, don't you see you're the worst version of yourself? And she's like, excuse me? He's like, you have so much potential because you failed at literally everything. And she's like, why are you saying this right now?
Yeah.
He's like, you're adjacent to so many universes. It's unseen before. She's like, please stop.
Oh, I wrote something about that. Let me see if I can find it. There's like only 8 notes here, so it's just like shouldn't be too hard to find. It's like you're being so bad at life that you're potentially good at everything.
Yeah, and he's like, don't you see you've done everything so bad up to this point? But yeah, so that was wild for her to like, but yeah, she's built up as being cold, and then you see moments of her like harsh exterior cracking, and then her juxtaposed to the alpha versions of people. She's like the warmest person around because Alpha Wayman is like, you know, don't you see? You're terrible. You're garbage. You have the best chances to beat it.
Yeah.
And then her father in the alpha version is like, I would gladly kill my own granddaughter. It's what you have to do. And then she's just like, you know, she's still holding on to her morality even though she sees all of the crap that's going on.
Yeah, it's like you guys are literally the ones that did this because you forced everything onto your granddaughter, my daughter.
Well,
and
she did it.
Yes.
Because
yeah.
there's the whole allegory of putting up a bunch of pressure and pushing them
Yeah.
past the point of them being able to handle it.
Mm-hmm. And
No, totally not relatable at all.
Yeah. And then here, let's talk about a lighter something lighter when it's just like she realizes and like I think it's she recognizes the strength of Wayman for the like first time, and not Alpha Wayman or
Not the kindness that he
thing.
shares.
Yeah, and then like he's just even like at the point where she's like still out of it and like everything is just like coming to kill her. He's still there like, no, don't like stop
No
this.
more fighting.
It has to be a way. No more fighting. And he's what he's constantly saying, and then like it all like kind of clicks and just realizes, and then it's just like the fights change where they're coming to kill, and she's just like, no, this is everything like I've learned in all the different lifetimes now, like put together, and it's just like the Jobu is just like seeing that, and she's like, nope, I'm not having any of this. And that's like,
I'm not going to be vulnerable right now.
yeah.
Peace.
And then it's just like it gets to the point where like pretty much Evelyn like pretty much quote unquote fixes or like puts everyone in like their a healed state kind of.
I really like the one with the guy. He's like, she's the doctor, and she's like, you have like these things right here, but with a little bit of restructuring, you should feel no pain. And she twists his neck, and he's like, oh, thank you.
And then it's like I think the next one is just like the dude with the dungeon in his office, and it's just like puts the gag in his mouth, and it's just like even her, she's just like, oh, okay, and he's just like, oh, that's when she spanks him in front of everyone, and everyone's just like, oh, like, but he's just like, but yeah,
But it's essentially like representation of her listening to other people,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
which is really
just,
what her daughter wants and
yeah.
her husband wants, just to be like heard.
Yeah, but Jobu didn't, because like she's like, no, you got to let me go, and that's when she's like, okay, and then like just watches her daughter walk into the donut, and she's like, hold up a second, no, I'm not, and then it's just that's when I was like the part when the one rock. The daughter rock falls off, and then she's like, nope, I'm coming to him. It's like, stupid emotional rocks. Just chasing after each other. I'm like, it's, but like all the different things and.
All the universes coming together for
yeah.
connecting to other people more than just seeing them as like antagonists. Because it does also seem like in the other universes, the other people that she's forced to deal with, she seems to be fighting with a lot of them.
Yeah.
And then all at this point in the movie, she's like finally like getting along with them because she exposes the one guy because she starts losing shifts at her hibachi. Mm-hmm. Excellent. It's such a small part, but it's so funny.
Yeah, it's purposely in there for just the release valve of. I will say
get her.
I'm more excited to see Swiss Army Man now that I know that this guy also had a hand in it. But yeah, it was. I know, like we're over our spoilerly talk time, but it's just I feel like we're still just like barely scratching the surface of this. There's so much stuff that like it could be it's kind of like a two-parter, but yeah, it's just oh man, there's like it's just such a good movie with like just I don't know, like as like I'll be the first one to admit, like I just with the whole context of everything in there, I know I don't like hit on all the emotional beats and all the like the different trauma stuff that they're talking about, but there are some things that like I did connect with and stuff like only having one parent now and just been like just having parts of that like where it's just like not fully following the path that they wanted or whatever, and it's like and so like not that it's in the same context of like Evelyn not fully accepting that Joy is dating Becca, is that her name? Becky. And to the end where it's like this is, and then like says the Chinese word for like girlfriend, and like Joy's just like no stop
it's
it
too much.
like
yeah.
What are you doing? and just the whole thing where like Evelyn's not talking to like the Joy of this timeline but of the Jobu who knows everything, and like she's like we only get snippets, and she's like and I'll pretty much enjoy any snippet that like we'll enjoy it as much as I can.
Yeah, the thing that Strider said to me when I was like really sad about the movie, naturally, he was like, wouldn't it be nice if it were like the movies that our parents picked us instead? And I was like, don't say words.
Whoops, I hit my table. Yeah.
Good movie.
It's like, I
know we usually end on the note, would you recommend this to people? I don't think we need to really discuss this. Just watch the movie.
Yeah, it's... good. Hey, what's that? Good movie.
Good movie.
I forget what movie it was that we were just saying that for, or that I was saying a good movie. Let's see. I'm just like
I would love to when I emotionally recover. I would love to watch it again because, like, the bagel was hinted at from like the first scene, essentially, or not the first scene, but like when she's first at the auditor and she goes, "You have this karaoke machine," and she draws the bagel, and I was like, the bagel is everywhere, and then they take their time eating like the cookies, and then the cookies are in the different visions, and then and the googly eyes are in the very beginning, and I was like, the googly eyes are the opposite colors of the everything bagel.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of.
It's everything everywhere all at once.
Okay, so this will change the subject a little bit because I know this. Well, it might not be a lighter note, but it will be a little bit. It will pull us away from the emotional thing. And since I'm pretty sure the general gist of it is, yes, we recommend it. Go watch it. But when this movie came out, I know there was some. Not conflict, but some arguments because Jamie Lee Curtis won Best Supporting Actress or Actor. I don't remember the full title. While everyone was saying that Stephanie, I don't know how to say her last name, Sue, SHSU,
her daughter.
Yeah, her daughter should have been the one should have gotten that award, and. I'm not here. Like I don't know. Watching those two, do you have not to like bring back up the I know the argument that came up in there, but do you have an opinion on that, or is it just?
I didn't watch a lot of details about like the arguments and the pros and cons.
I don't remember the pros and cons, but yeah.
I personally think that everyone in this movie deserved an award. I don't remember, is Jamie Lee Curtis the only one to win an award? Or did the other actors?
Evelyn. Michelle, I believe, won Best Actor.
Okay.
I believe.
Best Lead.
Yeah, I can find that out.
Because, like, if it was only Jamie Lee Curtis, then I'd be more upset.
1 second, I can find out as I scroll. Why does Wikipedia not have their awards?
Yeah, but I would say that I personally... For me, when I think of this movie, who I think did the best supporting acting role, I kind of like the husband, Waymond. I think he did a lot of he fleshed out both halves of Evelyn, right? Like, I do think the daughter played a good villain, but something about the way that the husband was able to move between, like, the alpha version to the really vulnerable version to, like, also following her in all the different universes and being, like, different roles in her life through all of them. Like, he played a very good sniveling sad guy, but also an extremely believable, like, hunky, like, 80s action movie guy. The whole, like, stop talking and you're gonna have to listen to me or else we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Let's see. She won Best Actress in the Academy Awards. Make sure.
List of accolades.
Yeah.
So is this the Academy Awards we're looking at?
Yeah.
Won Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actress. Oh, Best Supporting Actor did go to the husband, and Supporting Actress, they were both nominated, but Jamie Lee Curtis won for the daughter in that. I don't know that I personally...
Yeah, it's, like, my opinion was, like, she was good. And, like, I agree with what your statement, like,
if I had to pick one supporting actor that I thought, like, really sold everything, I was like, I would go with the husband.
Yeah. So, like, yeah. Quan and Stephanie, like, Jamie Lee Curtis, like, was her role important to the movie? Yeah, but was it, like, pivotal? Wow, words. Is it, like, if the daughter and husband, like, did not, like, because they carried weight, like, I almost feel like
if it was only Jamie Lee Curtis, I would have assumed it was racist, but it doesn't seem to be the case.
Yeah, oh, like, that wasn't what I was intending to bring up. It was just more
I've heard people were saying, like,
probably, I don't know. It's just, it feels like sometimes.
Oh, they were only nominated for Best Costume Design that year? Who won Best Costume Design that year?
I don't know.
Well, I'm a scroll. 2020s.
I don't even know where the list is. So.
2022. Oh, Black Panther got Best Costume Design. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But yeah, in the end, movie was good. This is definitely a movie. I mean, same thing. I think I think I want to watch it with people next time.
You want to be sad with friends?
Yeah. I'm tired of being sad by myself. I've done that for 35. No. But no, it's I do think it's good. Like, I don't know. There's just so much stuff that I feel like we could talk about, but like it's just not like not the context of like we just didn't have time and not kind of how our show's caught up on. So I don't know if you guys are listening to this and like you want us to go, I don't know, re-explore this movie and like hit like I don't know, do a deep dive. Let us know, and I don't know, we'll see if we can make the time. But so yeah, next week, even though we rolled at the beginning, if this still comes out on
there's 1 of 2 movies. You'll have to be surprised which one comes out next week.
Yeah, so it's either if this comes out in May, then the next movie is Dream Scenario. If it comes out in June, the next movie is It Comes at Night. So
this is funny if it comes out in your Dream Scenario, because Dream Scenario feels like it wanted to use magical realism to tell a point, but it doesn't. Yeah. Whereas Everything Everywhere All at Once, like, super commits to the bit, and you're just like broken.
So we'll see which one comes out and which one I remember to upload at a certain time. So we'll see. But anyway, just like timelines are confusing, hey, so are we with our recording and release schedule sometimes. But anyway, thank you everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.